Jeanie, who's going to be the evaluator?
Yes. Who wants to do something that they haven't done yet? Or who doesn't have a role and would like to push the envelope and try it?
I can do it if no one else is doing it.
Thank you, Adelina.
Yay, thank you, Adelina.
With that, come to...
All right. So I will go with Dane's prompt about a time when I faced adversity and how did I overcome it? Similar to Mary. Thank you, Mary, for your beautiful story. Mine is a little different. It's a workplace situation. Many years ago, I was working at a company. It was a rather large company, very departmentalized, a lot of political, agendas and such. So I got into this position. It was a global marketing position. And it's weird because actually I had two elements of adversity I faced. So when I was like in my early 20s, I was in a customer service role, and they kind of promoted me. I'm a really good worker. But I ended up applying for this job in marketing that was a non-exempt position, and I didn't get it, you guys. And I was really bummed because I was going against this guy in my department that really didn't, work as hard as me. And I was really bummed about it. I mean, I felt like, wow, like what were they thinking? I know it's terrible. He had his attributes, but I was just really surprised. But the weird thing is, now that I'm thinking of it, it's crazy how this was. I was asked in the interview, they have this big event where they bus people in for this huge event they do every year. It's like a stockyards thing. This was in Fort Worth. And he asked me if I had attended. And I didn't attend. I was a single mom, and maybe I shouldn't have said that. I was like, oh, well, no, I go to school, I have a daughter, whatever. So maybe he thought I wouldn't be available or whatever, but I didn't get the job. And so I ended up getting promoted to another job in my department. And then I worked on an IT project. It was like a special system development. So that was really, it's weird because I was so disappointed, but yet when I got on this project, I met so many people. Like, this was irreplaceable experience. I mean it. Like, I was just floored how awesome this experience was. And then it was a few years into this project, I decided to apply for this global marketing position that came out. And this one was an exempt one. And I was at this point exempt, but it was like higher level. And it was actually supervising the position that I applied for before. Oh my gosh, you guys. I'm so sorry. It's like I almost forget about this story. So I applied for it. And sadly, however, the person who I was replacing had passed away. So she had passed away in a scuba accident. So the adversity element, oh my gosh, I wasn't timing myself. This is why I'm a bad timer. Okay, well, hopefully I don't go over. If I go over, anyone tell me, but I'll try to make it briefer. Well, she had passed away, so there was no protocol, no procedures, no training, nothing, just a desk with a bunch of stuff. And there were all these dynamics where my department was kind of adversarial role to other departments. Like, nobody liked my department. It was the weirdest thing. And so there was like all this like ego and like everybody like always trying to like, let's put these people down. It was really very depressing, to be honest, when I got in this role. But what ended up happening is, I decided that even though there were some preconceived notions about how these departments work, I decided that I was going to work well with everybody in every department. And so how I did that was I started working with the people in my department too. I think there was a lot of like, you didn't want to lose your job. Everyone was really worried about losing their job, so they wouldn't divulge or share information. So I would gradually meet with people one-on-one and try to get the information to make procedures and processes to make things more efficient. So I did that, and then we had 0 errors, all kinds of great things, and it was awesome. And then with the people in the other departments that we needed to work with, I kind of like would meet with them regularly and, listen to what their interests were and everything. And then I put together this global marketing calendar. And I think they were like really surprised how good it was. We were an eye care company, and I had this idea of combining my degrees in psychology. And I had an idea of, last year and the year before, they did things like kids' art and whatever. And these calendars would go to these doctors all over the world. And so what I chose was optical illusion artwork, because I thought it's tied to the theme of eye care. And I figured a lot of doctors would like artwork in general, maybe. And so it was a huge hit. And I worked with all of them to make sure we had all of the graphics and everything. And everyone was blown away. And it sold, like it outsold, like, and we had to order millions more or whatever. And so that was overcoming adversity. And the way I did it was by listening to people, because I think a lot of people didn't feel heard, and by trying to prevent my own ego from, I felt like there were a lot of egos in the room and I needed to step it down a notch or two just to hear people. So that's what I did. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jeanie. Jeanie, I love your energy. You just have such a great energy. It's awesome. Thank you.
Thanks.
At this point, I like to ask our timer, Jeanie, regarding the time for our speakers, Dane, Mary, and Jeanie.
Yes. So I have no idea what my speech was. For timing, I do apologize. Dane, you almost went over, but you just went under by a hair. It was 7 minutes, 20 seconds. And Mary, you were under, you were like 3 minutes and 28 seconds. So I was hoping, and if you would like to override me, feel free, but I feel like in the name of inclusivity for our word of the day, that we should leave it open for, voting for, regardless of the time.
Absolutely.
Including for table topics. Plus it's hard on here. I didn't have good equipment.
So let me tell you guys, go ahead and send your votes to Todd